What's up, guys? It's Addy here, back with another video for you guys on our road to 1K. Super excited to hit 1K, guys. So if you're not subscribed, please do so, and help us reach that 1K milestone. So anyway, getting right to it. NBA news, NBA rumors. Carmelo Anthony has told the Knicks that he will remove his no trade clause for only the Rockets and the Cavs. And I'm going with the Cavs. Honestly, I really think this will be a great fit for him. But before anything, I just want to say I'm playing 4v4 here with the top four, the big four from both teams, because clearly both teams are trying to make super teams. And on the other side, obviously, are the Celtics trying to make a super team of their own. They've just acquired Gordon Hayward. If you haven't seen my video yet, go check out my last video about Gordon Hayward signing with the Boston Celtics. But just an overview, he took $128 million, a 4-year deal, huge deal for the Boston Celtics, and they're trying to grow now. Originally, their plan was signing Paul George, but that didn't fall through because the Pacers went on and did a trade anyway beforehand. So before they even got Gordon Hayward, so here we are. Now there's rumors of Marc Gasol, and I really see that this trade could really work out. So both teams trying to make big fours could really be interesting. The Celtics big four, obviously Isaiah Thomas, Gordon Hayward, Marc Gasol, Al Horford, 4 All-Stars. On the other side, Carmelo Anthony, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Kevin Love. This is obviously very, very interesting if you're a Cavs fan or a Celtics fan. And I mean, obviously the Rockets are also a very big possibility for where Carmelo lands, and maybe the Knicks don't want to, help another team in the East get so big. A real reason I think the Bulls and the Pacers didn't want to give the Celtics either of their stars was because, later on it could come back to hurt them, because these are teams they're going to have to face later on. So it can be really interesting to see these big fours. I mean, obviously, I think no Carmelo, no Marc Gasol. Next year is going to be a real battle to see in the East. I mean, the East ain't very strong, so the Celtics and the Cavs are really going to be up there. And obviously the Cavs have the upper edge with LeBron and Kyrie, but I really think Isaiah's better than Kyrie, and now you add in Gordon Hayward. I mean, we didn't have a big chance last year, but we definitely do now. And you add in a great defensive and offensive player like Marc Gasol to the mix. Obviously, Carmelo's a great scorer, no doubt about it. I mean, he's not known for his defense, so nothing really big to praise there. But definitely the offense from Carmelo is going to help the Cavs a lot, and not going to be that big a problem if they meet the Celtics with no Marc Gasol next year. Obviously, I think if the Cavs come with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, LeBron James, and Carmelo against the Celtics' team right now, no doubt they're going to win. So I mean, it's not even about the Celtics anymore. It's about the Warriors, and I think that's why both teams are doing it, because in the end, you can think about trying to beat the Cavs or the Celtics, but you have to go there and beat the juggernaut, which is the Warriors, and they for sure have 4 All-Stars, all of which are in their prime, all are young. I mean, if either of these teams acquire Marc Gasol or Carmelo Anthony, they're not the youngest guys ever. They're not in their prime no more. I mean, Carmelo's a great scorer, but he's not the old Carmelo. So, obviously, the Celtics acquired a great guy who is in his prime, Gordon Hayward. But you add in Marc Gasol, he's not in his prime anymore, but he can still help the Celtics do a lot more. And, I mean, this trade isn't for sure, but I really think that this could go through because it's good for both sides. The Celtics have a lot to offer, and I mean, Jay Crowder and Marcus Smart are already on the trading block, and if you add them onto Memphis, it could be really helpful for them, because Memphis is, obviously trying to rebuild now. They lost Zach Randolph to the Kings. In this free agency, I mean, they have a monster contract from Mike Conley that, is really hurting them from signing any other free agents. So it could be really helpful to get this trade going and, release a player who's kind of old, can't really help them as much, and go from there. I'm just going to quickly take a second here. Okay, anyway, I mean, this trade could be really helpful for Memphis because they could want a guy like Marcus Smart or a guy like Jay Crowder on their team because Mike Conley can't do everything alone, and they want some young guys that can really help them out. I mean, Marc Gasol and Mike Conley might be able to make the playoffs. Probably not with a Timberwolves team with Jimmy Butler now, and then adding in OKC with Paul George. I mean, a lot of teams are growing. The Rockets are growing. Obviously, the Clippers are probably starting to get out of the picture, but even they have a better chance of making the playoffs than say a Memphis Grizzlies team with two old stars. But that doesn't mean he can't help the Celtics, and this is where the Celtics benefit from it because they get a nice tall player in Marc Gasol. He's a great defender, takes some pressure off Al Horford, and he's a great scorer. So again, they get more points from him. He averaged about 20 points a game last year, which is really helpful for them. And it's obviously trying to build a super team. That's what everyone's trying to do. And as you can see there, I mean, his rebounding is obviously off the charts. So, I mean, he's not the only option for them. And I'm sure they're trying to look at like Andre Drummond. I mean, the dream situation would obviously be like Anthony Davis. But, obviously the Pelicans are not going to shop him with they just made a trade with DeMarcus Cousins there. And, I mean, they're probably trying to get something going there as well in terms of trades. But this could be really helpful for the Celtics. I mean, they need a big man, and probably their next goal is to try to get a big man, along with the fact that they need to clear some cap space. So getting rid of Jay Crowder and Marcus Smart might be the best idea. I don't think Avery Bradley is the way to go yet. I bet Marcus Smart and Jay Crowder are probably the best way to go because Jay Crowder especially, I really don't see anything whatsoever for him to do in Boston anymore because we've got two young rookies in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, both of them trying to grow and meet their potential. And if you have another small forward who's a solid backup, solid starter, but he's no star, if he's stopping them from reaching their potential, I mean, obviously the Celtics are not going to want that, and he's kind of a waste of money now because we just signed Gordon Hayward at that small forward position. So it's going to be really interesting what the Celtics try to do in terms of getting rid of Jay Crowder. And same on the other end. I mean, obviously the Cavs are going to have to get rid of something for Carmelo. I mean, definitely, maybe it's Amon Shumpert and J.R. Smith going back. Maybe it's, Tristan Thompson's probably going to be on that list. Kevin Love, I'm sure, might be on that list as well because the Knicks are not going to let go of Carmelo just that easily. They're definitely going to want something back. Maybe it's some young players, or not even young. Maybe they want some supporting roles like a Kyle Lowry. Definitely, you can't really ask the Cavs for any picks or anything at this point because they don't really have anything. You got to ask them for solid players. They could ask for like Kyle Korver or Darren Williams. Players like that, Channing Frye, but they're all supporting. I mean, I'm sure the Knicks are going to want somebody if they're getting rid of their, used to be franchise player. I mean, depending on who you see it as, Porzingis or Anthony now, or they're losing their old gem. They're not going to do it for nothing, and clearly the Cavs have no picks. So either it's going to be some kind of 3-team trade where Kevin Love ends up in Denver, like it was being said, or wherever he ends up. Great hustle by Marc Gasol there, but it's not about it's not about how it's done. It's just they're gonna have to definitely be ready to get rid of something if they want Carmelo. And obviously they want to keep LeBron happy right now because LeBron isn't too happy with the GM situation that they had before. So he's definitely gonna want something to assure that they want something to assure that LeBron ain't leaving them next year for the Lakers or wherever, the Lakers, the Rockets, wherever he could go. So they're definitely going to want that reassurance. And if they get Carmelo, I really think, Carmelo is a dear friend of LeBron, and they've always talked about teaming up. So if they get LeBron, they're definitely going to have if they get Carmelo, they're definitely going to have LeBron's like satisfaction for a little bit at least. And then, I mean, depending on how the season goes and how they gel well together, which, I mean, definitely they'll play great together. It's just about, how well, if they win or not. That's the real issue. So if they have to get rid of Kevin Love for Carmelo, I really don't see the Cavs getting that much better. I mean, Carmelo and Kevin Love, I think, are going to do basically the same thing. I mean, Carmelo's not going to come in and start averaging 30 points a game. He's going to come in. He's a pretty old guy now, not as well a rebounder as Kevin Love, so that's kind of a minus. They're going to probably have to get rid of Tristan Thompson as well, which is also a minus because Tristan Thompson's a great rebounder. I mean, this could hurt the Cavs in some ways because now that I'm thinking about it, the Knicks are definitely going to want like a Kevin Love or at least Tristan Thompson, maybe Iman Shumpert, they're going to want a lot for Carmelo. And if the Cavs are willing to give it, then it could be really helpful for them. But as you can see, this game's been neck and neck. I mean, both big fours have been great, but the possibility of the Celtics creating a big four versus the Cavs is probably greater at this point because the Cavs don't have as many assets as the Celtics do to make a trade without losing one of their big players. I'm sure if the Celtics were in the Cavs situation, the only way they could get like a Carmelo was if they got rid of Al Horford, and that's kind of a hard situation to think of. So if they're willing to get rid of Kevin Love, it's going to be tough for them, but the fans, the organization has to think Carmelo or Love. And I see negatives from both sides and some positives from both sides as well. So, and again, that'll be very interesting to watch. And some more news around. The Danilo Gallinari going to the Clippers and Jamal Crawford going to the Hawks. There was a 3-team trade there. That's pretty interesting to see. Paul Millsap signed with the Nuggets. A lot going on in the NBA just all around. So both teams better be quick to make some decisions because the Rockets, I'm sure, are also trying to get Carmelo, and Carmelo seems like he's open to a Rockets trade as well. And maybe that's the better situation for Carmelo to go to. Chris Paul and James Harden, those are two huge names, and you add in a Carmelo to that team. That's a lot of potential there. And obviously Carmelo would not be that number one scoring role, so he doesn't have that much pressure. But James Harden is obviously going to be that great scorer that he is, and you add in a great ball handler and just all-around passer in Chris Paul. It could be really great for Carmelo to go there as well. But it's all about whether he wants to team up with his friend LeBron, and obviously the East is a little easier. And right now, do you want to take that chance? Go to the hard West where the Paul George just entered, Jimmy Butler just entered. It's going to be a real battle next year in the West. So even Paul Millsap just entered. So a lot of All-Stars entering the West this year. It's going to be real tough to win in the West. So it's up to Carmelo and up to the Knicks. And the Cavs, what they do there. And again, the Celtics and Grizzlies probably going to try to battle it out for Marc Gasol, and we'll see where it goes from there. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this about Carmelo and Marc Gasol getting traded. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And yeah, peace, guys.